YouTube pod. If you are a student athlete that's looking for a recruiting option, you're in the right spot. All right, you guys, we are live and ready to go. I am your host, Coach Terrence Wood. You guys are with us for the Recruiting Live Show. Now, if you're on YouTube, you may see me look down a couple of times because I've got Instagram here. And if you're on Instagram, you may see me look up behind you because I've got YouTube behind you guys. But Instagram, you guys won't be able to see all of the slides that we're showing on YouTube, but you guys can get some value. You can get some value out of the content. If for some reason you guys do say, hey, I want to see the visuals, then go to the link in our bio at beforeyouGoPro.com. You can click on the College Football Recruiting Live Show link, and then you guys can come check it out on YouTube, okay? If you're on Instagram and you catch this after the live, then you can check out the recording by doing the same procedure, okay? So thank you for joining us, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on YouTube. I appreciate you guys coming in. This is for the serious athletes. This is for the serious young football players that want to know more about how to get to the bag, how to get to that college football recruiting scholarship or preferred walk-on opportunity. So let's get into it, you guys. Every single Tuesday, Instagram, we come in to the Recruiting Live Show and we give you guys the sauce. We give you guys the information that you guys need to get to the next level. Some of you guys are doing great in the classroom. Some of you guys are doing great on the football field. See you young C's, you don't have the scholarship offer yet. Your phone isn't ringing. So we want to make that happen for you. It is our goal with Before You Go Pro to get as many student athletes, football players to college as possible. Every single year, that's our goal. So ride with us every single Tuesday. Now, we'll be doing this, you guys, through the early period and through the regular recruiting period. Instagram, if you see me looking past you, it's because I'm talking to YouTube. If you guys want to check this out on YouTube and see all of the slides and everything, then go to the link in our bio to make sure that you guys can check that out. It's the Recruiting Live Show link. So with that being said, you guys, critical times right now. Critical times if you guys are serious about getting a college football scholarship, especially if you're in the class of 2024. Now, if you're in the class of 2025, if you're in the class of 2026, that doesn't mean that this information isn't important to you, but it does mean that you have a little bit more time than most. So let's get into the slides, you guys. Once again, we do this every single Tuesday, 6:30 to 9:30, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on Instagram, we're not going to have this on Instagram every single week. We have it on YouTube. This is special tonight. So with that being said, I'm your host once again, Coach Terrence Wood. I'm a practitioner of helping young football players live their dreams. I've been doing this for a very long time, almost 2 decades, you guys. Helping young football players achieve their dreams is truly a labor of love for me. This is my ministry. This is where I spend my time, you guys. ND for life, I see you, baby. So you guys see right there on the picture, I'm with some young men. That was at a Cal Berkeley game years ago, you guys. And right here, you guys see in the middle of the screen, that is me. I played at the University of Colorado. I actually come from a football family. Instagram, I come from a football family. My grandfather is a professional football Hall of Famer. He played at USC, and then he played back in the Vince Lombardi days of the Green Bay Packers free safety. His name is Will Wood. Rest in peace. I played at Colorado, then I played in the Arena Football League, and I also played in Canada. So you're not just getting this information tonight from somebody who thinks they know or somebody who is practicing, or somebody who is guessing. You're getting this information from somebody who has personally lived it, somebody that wants to help you and many others live their dreams in the football industry, you guys. So right here, you guys see on the screen, these are some of my kids, some of my babies. These are young men that we have helped get to the next level. Some of these guys are playing this weekend coming up, you guys. So this is something that we do on a daily basis. And just more proof and illustration of that, check out this picture that you guys saw previously. You see the young man with the arrow over his head now. Well, that is Jacob DeJesus. And currently, this is what Jacob is up to. He is a Paul Hornung Award honor roll player. He was all conference at UNLV this year. He's playing in the Mountain West Conference, you guys. He's playing Division I football. A lot of you guys, Instagram, would love to play football at UNLV, would love to play football in the Mountain West Conference, you guys. I see King Ronnie. I see you, baby. We're live. Thank you for this, Coach. How many of you will really get that opportunity? How many of you will really get that opportunity? That's what this is about tonight, is sculpting your picture in a manner where it's attractive to college recruiters, is putting forth your best effort, having all your ducks in order where you're attractive to college football recruiters, where you can get the exposure that you're looking for. That's the great Donovan Walker. This is, or David Walker, Donovan's his dad, checking in with us. What's going on, superstar? That is a playmaker out of Nevada. Thank you for joining us and getting this content, David. That's where we're going to go to the next level, baby. So right now, Jacob's playing. He's getting ready for a Mountain West championship game. A Mountain West championship game. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, you guys, now Instagram, you can't see these slides. If you want to see it, you got to go to the link in our bio and hit the Recruiting Live link so you guys can see these slides. But here's his journey. Here's his journey, you guys. It's not always peaches and cream. It's not always red carpet and roses. Sometimes we got to grind our way to the top. And, you know, I showed you a picture of Jacob in high school. Well, guess what? He was a baller in high school. He was a baller in high school. We do film evaluations, YouTube. We do film evaluations for all of our players, Instagram, when they come in. David knows this. He's watching right now. So you guys know exactly how we feel about you when we come in. We don't need anybody else's opinion. We don't need anybody else's referral. You know, we evaluate you on our own. And a lot of times, Instagram, our evaluations with Before You Go Pro are even more difficult than the college recruiters. Okay. So we would rather under promise and over deliver. So we give a pretty firm film evaluation with Before You Go Pro. Our film evaluation of Jacob DeJesus was that he was a Division I FBS level player. I don't care if he's 5'8", which he is. I don't care if he was only 170 pounds, Instagram, coming out of high school. We give a film evaluation that is unbiased, and we don't need anybody else's opinion. Okay, so when he was coming out of Manteca High School, which you guys see on the far left, we had graded him at a Division I Mountain West level type prospect back then. But guess what? He didn't get it right away. And that's what part of this is about, you guys, is getting the mindset ready, Instagram, getting the mindset ready, YouTube, for what you guys are about to go through or may have to go through if you really want to live this life, David Walker. You're going to have to get the mindset together that I'm going to be bad, I'm going to make it, whether they take me now or not, whether I get the Power 5 now or not. I'm going to find my way. And that was Jacob's mentality. So we gave him a Division I grade, you guys, right out of high school. He didn't get it out of high school. And a large portion of the reason, in my opinion, why he didn't get it was because he was playing at a small school in California. where he was underexposed, even though there's ballers coming out of Manteca High, he was underexposed. And then also, like I said, he's 5 foot nothing. Pick up is 5'8" at best. So you're going to get pushed back to the back of the line a lot of times when you're that size and you want to play D1 football. But guess what? We knew he was who he is today. We knew that back then. So he believed it too. He believed it too, because at the end of the day, what we believe isn't nothing either if you don't believe it. So he believed it too, you guys, and he went on Monterey JC. That's the picture you guys see in the middle right there. Instagram, if you want to check out the slides that they're seeing on YouTube, go to the link in our bio, Recruiting Live Show. Okay, so with that being said, he went to Monterey JC. He could have went to a small D2 school, or he could have went D3 or NAI, but he believed the evaluation. He went to Monterey JC, and right now he's at UNLV. And like I said, he's a Paul Hornung candidate. He's all conference kick returner, and this is his first year at UNLV. He gets 2 years, and he's living his dreams, fully paid for, full ride scholarship. They're glad to have him. He's glad to be there. So it is a win-win, you guys. But guess what? He could have said, I'm hanging up my cleats after he didn't get that D1 offer coming out of Manteca High. He could have said, I'm hanging up my cleats. Or he could have said, I'm going to dim my light. I'm going to dim my dream. My dream was to go here. I got an evaluation that said I should go here, and I could just dim all of this. But he chose not to. So part of this, you guys, is for the journey, not just to teach you guys how to get to the next level, but for the journey. Who is this for? This is for the go-getters. Instagram, this is for the go-getters. YouTube, this is for the go-getters. This is for the ones that are willing to get off Fortnite, willing to get off the text and the phone call with their girlfriend and make something happen for their life. That's who this is for. Now, we work specifically with high school, junior college, and prep school football players. That's who we work specifically for. That's who this is intended for. And if you want to get more specific, we're really talking to the class of 2024 or the kid in junior college that's eligible and ready to go to a university. Okay, so that is who this is for. That's who we're talking to. The great Chris Hornbarger. His son is right there in Nevada as well. Actually, a teammate of David Walker's, and he's going big time too. Big Bubba. We love him. Great defensive lineman out of Lowry High School. Little high school, a lot of talent coming out of that high school, you guys. And these families are checking in because they want to get to the next level, and it's a priority. Okay, so that's what this is for. That's who this is for. So now we got to get into who believes in our program, or who is someone that is affiliated with our program, that believes in the athletes that come out of our program. Right here, you've got a testimonial from the great Cedric Cormier. Instagram, Division I coach, Ball State. It's kind of like a little brother conference to the Big Ten. It's the West Coast's version of the Mountain West. So he's in the MAC conference, and he's saying, hey, Terrence, who is me, Coach Wood, is someone I've known for almost 30 years, very passionate about helping young people, if you can't tell, reach their goals in life. I feel that Before You Go Pro is a great tool, not a good tool, a great tool for any athlete, parent of an athlete who has aspirations of playing college football. Right here, you guys, I want to show you this. Because a testimonial is one thing, Instagram. I see you, DBR. I love you, baby. Thanks for joining us. We're talking college football recruiting. If you want to see all the slides going on YouTube, hit the link in our bio. We're giving away some secrets from our company. If you guys really want to talk about real-time stuff, then here you go. Here you go. This is Coach Rondo from Pace University. What does the top of the text say? It says today. It says today. And Coach Rondo's right there. And right there, I'm asking him, you guys, what are you looking for? This is a great D2 university in New York, you guys. It costs $53,000 a year. Now, you may say, hey, Coach, I wasn't thinking about going D2. I want to go pro one day. Can I still go pro out of a D2? Well, right here, you're seeing a kid, Jackie Chen. And he was a 6'6" lineman from Pace. So if you got the game, they'll find you. And he signed with the Jets. out of leaving Pace University, a Division II school. So Coach Rondo has had guys sign with the Jets, and the Jets practice facility is right around the corner, Instagram, YouTube, from Pace University. So if you're balling out at Pace University, then guess what? The Jets and Giants are probably going to know about it. Once again, $53,000 a year to go to this school, and they're giving full rides and partial rides. But right here, Coach Rondo's telling you what he needs. I told you this was just today. Coach Rondo is telling you he needs offensive linemen, he needs QBs, he needs wide receivers, D tackles, and DBs. He said, we are actively recruiting these positions. So there you go. If you're looking for an offer in your back pocket, YouTube, Instagram, and you don't have anything, your phone's not ringing, well, you just got kudos for coming to check out the show, because right there, you're getting it firsthand from a coach telling you exactly what he's looking for. Okay. Now, some of you guys may feel like you're at the Division I level. I just talked to you about Coach Cormier. Here's Tuesday. That says Tuesday, right? Now, it wasn't today, Tuesday. This was last week, Tuesday. But right there, another coach that believes in our program telling you exactly what he's looking for, taking you behind the war room curtain and telling you exactly what he's looking for right now. Wide receiver, tight end, O-lineman, linebacker, D-lineman. And guess what? He's a very dear friend of mine. So when I come to him and I say I got kids at all those positions, he's going to pick up the call. He's going to pick up the call, Zerto. I see you, Zerto, baby. We're talking college football recruiting. Hopefully all is well with you. If you're trying to get to the next level, you're in the right spot, okay? You're in the right spot. So I'm not just telling you, you guys, that we do this. I'm showing you that we do this. A lot of people are trying to get in you guys' head, give you information. A lot of you guys may be getting steered in the wrong way, or you're waiting on coach to do it for you, or you're thinking a couple of DMs a week is going to make it happen. Not for a six-figure scholarship. Not for a six-figure scholarship, okay? This is a network. This is an industry. You know, picture me trying to get into the music industry. Picture me trying to get into Hollywood, and I'm just sending out random demos. May work, but you're probably going to have to send thousands, okay? So that's why we want to teach you guys all the tricks and tactics that we use to get you guys in front. Now, of course, it's relationships too, but there are tips and tactics and things to know. All right. So that's why you come to the College Football Recruiting Live show. I see Felicia. This is one of our moms. She's got a stunning superstar wide receiver out of Missouri, Anthony Keller. And thank you for joining us. I see the great Skip Winter. This is the dad of one of our new athletes, a great D lineman, Grant Winter, out of New Hampshire. Thank you guys for joining us. And this is why you guys will win. This is why we provide the information every single week. And I don't see other people putting it out like this. And this is why you guys will win. Instagram, if you want to win, you better come on to the Recruiting Live show every week. And if you guys want to go check out the slides that we're showing, then check it out on YouTube. You guys go to the link in our bio and hit it up on YouTube. All right. So let's get into it. Very important times, because we're talking calendar. We're talking timelines, recruiting timelines. That's the beautiful thing about college football recruiting, you guys, is it's laid out by timelines. Now, one thing I want to show you, I just showed you guys a couple of texts of us having conversations with college football recruiters. Check this out. We don't just do text. I'll send a note on a dove or something if I gotta get you in front of a coach. Here's an email. At the bottom is the email. If you guys look far right, when did this email happen? This happened at 3:43 today. Now, I know I got the great Chris Hornberger on here watching this. This email was pertaining to you and your son, sir. So obviously we've been talking some Eastern Washington, right? And Coach Nurse is our contact at Eastern Washington. And right here, he's saying, thanks for reaching out. Not sure if this is possible right now. We're trying to set up an unofficial visit. Instagram, we're trying to set up an unofficial visit. Not sure if this can happen right now, because we're going to be out of the office, in and out for the next couple weeks. So this is an email I'm showing you guys, hot off the press. I'm showing you guys real live time stuff to let you know that we do this on a daily basis, but also to show you why you need to be mindful of the timeline. Instagram, why you need to be mindful of the recruiting calendar. That's what I'm talking about right here. So let's go back to this email. Coach says, thanks for reaching out. I'll check on this possible to see if this is possible right now. We're going to be in and out the office, right? Now, let's go to the recruiting calendar. Let's go to the recruiting calendar and find out why Coach may be out of the office. This is the real live 2023-2024 recruiting calendar right here on your screen, YouTube. Now, what are we about to get into? We're about to get into December, right? Now, if you guys see on your screen, Instagram, I know you can't see this. Mr. Berkeley, I see you. Yusuf, what's going on, superstar? If you guys can't see this on your screen, just listen to me, Instagram. Right here on your screen, you're seeing that December, the first part of December is what? It's green, right? The first part of December is green, right? And then what did Coach Nurse tell us? He said, I'm going to be out the office a couple weeks. In and out the office. So I don't know if we can host the unofficial because we're going to be in and out the office. Well, what does green mean on the recruiting calendar? And if you've never seen the recruiting calendar, if you've been in the recruiting live show, you know we talk about this every single week. But if you've never seen the recruiting calendar, you guys, you can go to ncaa.org and see what the recruiting calendar looks like, okay? So this is it on your screen. The green part is the first week of December. We're about to go into the first week of December. If you look at the top of the screen, what does the green part resemble or represent? It represents the contact period. It represents the contact period. So the reason why Instagram, the reason why YouTube, Coach Nurse told us today that I don't know if I can host this athlete, let me check, is because he knows they're about to go into the contact period. What's the contact period, Coach Wood? I'm glad you asked what the contact period is. So the contact period is what you guys see on your screen right here. Now, once again, this comes from ncaa.org. This comes from the source, okay? What is the contact period for NCAA football? The contact period is a period when a college coach may have face-to-face contact with a college-bound student athlete or their parents, watch a student athlete compete, maybe at a playoff game, or visit their high school, write or telephone them. Basically, it is all go. It is all go when it comes to the contact pillar. The Hollister Cowboys, I see you. We're talking college football recruiting, you guys. Thank you for joining us. If you want to see the slides on YouTube, we're live on YouTube right now. So go to the link in our bio. You guys can see the slide. I'm Coach Wood. So the contact period at YouTube is all go. It is green light. We're what, 3-4 days from if that from December. It is all go right now. So there is a perfect example, you guys. If you ever were, if you're in the class of 2024 and you're wondering if you want to move with some urgency, if you want to join our program, let us move with some urgency for you. It's going down right now, okay? So there's a perfect example, just showing you guys real-time text, just showing you guys real-time email from Division I, Division II schools that they're hitting the road, okay? So I want to get into some things, and then this is it. Here is the early sign-in period that's coming up in December. And then you've got the regular sign-in period coming up in February. So that's why they're making these moves right now, you guys. And I see Felicia says he just got accepted to Ole Miss. Wow. Well, congratulations to you guys. Congratulations to Anthony. Just got accepted to Ole Miss. And we will definitely be talking about that. So that's some good stuff. And that's one of our new superstar athletes right there. So right here, you guys, on the screen, this is why it's so important. Coach Nurse, who's saying he's going to be on the road, he's an FCS coach. So you old school people, this is Division I AA. It's still Division I, a little bit lower level. Now the early signing period, which I showed you guys right here, that's coming up from the 20th through the 22nd. It's a 3-day period where kids can put pen to paper. FCS program, that's what Coach Nurse is. He probably wants to have 50% of his signing class done for the 2024 class by the time they get through that early signing period. And for some of the FCS programs, it's even higher than that because they're good programs. They'll have even more than 50% done. To be honest with you, Eastern Washington's probably going to have about 70% done of their recruiting signing class by the time they get through the early signing period. It doesn't mean that there's not time for you because all you need is one spot. Instagram, YouTube, all you need is one spot. You're not worried about all your friends. You want them to do well, but we're talking about you. So all you need is one. So, there's going to be 30% more to come for FCS schools like Eastern Washington once we get to the regular period and through the regular period. But it does mean we have to move. It does mean we have to make the contacts and the calls, just like you seen we were making today, okay? So let's get back to this. When we're talking recruiting, you guys, we're talking recruiting. A lot of times with the Recruiting Live show, we come in here and we want to show examples of athletes that we're currently working with, because I do believe there's value in that. And I do believe that you guys can listen to other people's situations and find out things for yourself. But in this case, like we have the last couple of weeks, I want to get back into some top recruiting questions. I'm going to take a sip of water here. I want to get back into some top recruiting questions, Instagram, because a lot of times, you guys, there's so much chaos with the industry that you guys bring us questions that I think are great, and everybody needs to hear these questions. Or there's things that I know you guys are thinking about. Our team knows you're thinking about. I know Coach Foss is with us, and we want to cover it in the show so that you guys can catch it live. You guys can ask questions, or you guys can check out the recording and get some of your questions answered. So one of the big questions, you guys, right now, one of the big questions that is being talked about and being thought about, Instagram, is the transfer portal. The transfer portal. Whether you guys are in college and you're thinking about going in the portal, we have some athletes going in the portal, or whether you guys are in high school, you guys are in junior college, and you're wondering, you may be a parent of a player like Miss Felicia or Mr. Winter, and you're wondering, I'm hearing about this transfer portal. I'm seeing the Dr. Pepper commercial, and Rico is saying my time is now. I'm getting that. But how is the portal going to affect me? How is the portal going to affect my son? So let's talk about that real quick. And once again, you guys, if you do have questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section. Instagram, if you have questions, go to the link in our bio, the Recruiting Live show. You guys can catch us live on YouTube and put in your questions in the comment section. Okay. And I do see some questions. I see you, Zerto. Let's get to that later, buddy. And if you want, come on to YouTube and then put that into the comment section. It makes it a little bit easier for me. But let's talk transfer portal, okay? Because I'm always honest with you guys. Coach Wood is always honest, because I felt like people weren't honest with me all the time when I was a football player. So I want to be honest with you guys. The transfer portal definitely affects high school and junior college athletes. High school kids even more so than junior college athletes. In my opinion, you guys, I think 30 to 40% of the scholarship offers that would have went, especially back in my day, that would have went to high school kids, especially at the Division I level, are now going to transfers, are going into transfer portal kids. 30 to 40%, you guys. So if Cal was going to sign 10 kids, of course, they're going to sign 20. Let's do 20. They're going to sign 20, 25 kids. If Cal's going to sign 20 kids, you guys, then that means that probably 6 to 8 spots that would have went to high school kids. Instagram, 6 to 8, 4D, I see you, baby. We're talking college football recruiting. 6 to 8 spots that would have went to high school kids that would have got a chance to play Cal Berkeley and get a hell of an education will not. because that's going to go to a transfer portal kid. Why is it going to go to a transfer portal kid? Because that kid is ready to play. That kid is probably already developed or close to being fully developed, where the coaches don't have to waste time. And maybe I save my job. Maybe I saved my job. Okay. So you guys keep that in mind. Now let's talk transfer portal, because this is all about to go down. And that's why we come into the College Football Recruiting Live Show, so that we can be on the forefront of things and we can be strategizing before things go down. Right. I live this industry. You guys don't live it. Some of you guys are coming into it for the first time because it's your time to go to college. And some of you guys are part-time in it. You know, I live this, my team lives this. We talk college football recruiting every single day. Okay. So I want to let you guys know what we see and what we know. All right. So transfer portal, it's about to open up. When's it going to open up, Coach Wood? It's going to open up December 4th. December 4th. So we're talking about what, 7 days or so from now. Now, a lot of kids have already gone into the portal. Right here, you guys see at the bottom, if a coach has been fired or a coach leaves a school, a kid can immediately go into the portal. And you get one scot-free. You get one scot-free shot into the portal, no questions asked. Back in the day when I was playing college football, if I wanted to transfer from the University of Colorado, and at one point in time, I'm going to be honest with you guys, there was a point in time I did want to transfer from the University of Colorado. But in my day, we would have had to go down a level. So I would have to go down to the FCS if I wanted to play right away, or I would have had to sit out a year. If I would have went parallel or would have went a level up, I would have had to sit out a year. Today, you guys get one scot-free. One scot-free. If you want to go, you're at Hawaii, now you want to go to Kansas, you can do it one time, no questions asked. Okay? The transfer portal, because it's that easy and that accessible, it is definitely hurting high school athletes and junior college athletes. Way too many kids are going into the portal, and way too many schools now are using it as a crutch to try to win faster or pick up the pace of the program faster. My alma mater, you guys know what my alma mater did with Dion at Colorado. They went all out. They had a whole new team. You can have a whole new team if you want. Okay, so what's happening with this? What are some of the trends that we're seeing because of this? And Instagram, I'm going to let you guys go now and dedicate all of my time to YouTube. J1, I see you, baby. We're talking college football recruiting. If you want to see the rest of the show, then hit the link in our bio and check it out on YouTube. We're live on YouTube, but I'm going to let you guys go. Instagram, love you, and hope to see you guys at the top. Have a good one. All right, you guys. So, with that being said, what does that mean for me as a high school player? The transfer portal is opening up. I definitely want a scholarship offer. What does that mean? What we're seeing, you guys, the trending, everybody's always talking trending. What we're seeing trending-wise is that a lot of colleges, especially at the Division I level, for you athletes that want to play D1 ball, they're trying to slow play the high school kids. A lot of time, they're trying to slow play the high school kids because they're waiting to see if they can get an older player or get a player from a big school. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean that player is going to be better than you when you develop. But this is what we're seeing, okay? So a lot of times what we'll do, you guys, especially if we get a kid that doesn't have any offers, we'll try to maybe stack by pitching them a level lower. Or maybe if we think he's a Pac-12 level kid, we're pitching him to one of the lower schools in the Pac-12 just to get something in his back pocket. Maybe if we think he's a Pac-12 level kid, we're pitching him to the Mountain West Conference just to get something in his back pocket and working our way up. Because a lot of times, you guys, if you're not a 5-4 or maybe 3-star recruit, they're going to try to slow play you or try to get you to take a PWO. Nothing wrong with that, but that's what we're seeing from things going on in the portal. And I see you guys coming in the comments section, so I'm definitely going to get to it. Don't worry about it. Just hold that thought, baby. So that's what we're seeing in the portal. That's why you want to be proactive, okay? So if you send your film to, I know we got Jake Pecor and some of his teammates watching. Oregon State likes Jake. one of our linebackers, but they've offered him a PWO. Back in my day, Jake would already had that offer. He would already have that offer. So what we'll do is we'll go to a Mountain West Conference school, go get that offer, and then help entice the Pac-12 schools to get interested in Jake. But at least he's got something in his back pocket. Okay. And it's just the times that we're in. Now, the good thing on the flip side of that transfer portal coin, you guys, is that there's the dynamic that really didn't happen in my day where an athlete can move up. So maybe I'm at Eastern Washington. Maybe I'm at FAU. I just saw an athlete that's in the Ivy League school, a D lineman. He's at Penn University. He killed it his sophomore year. He's young and got a bunch of sacks. So then he went in the portal to move up. Now he's got major FBS Power 5 options. He's got like 16 options. That would have never happened in my day. Never happened in my day. So on one hand, you guys are getting hurt from the transfer portal coming out of high school. But on the other hand, you can move up. If you're really, really that dude, you can go to an FCS school. You can go to a D2 school, rip it up young, and then move up. Okay? So keep that in mind, you guys, and I'll get to those questions here in a sec, but that's the transfer portal. Once again, it's opening up on the 4th, and you can expect for some of the bigger schools, this isn't so much a thing at the D2 level, D3 level, NAIA level, but when you're talking FCS, FBS, and definitely Power 5, if you're hearing interest as a high school kid, you may get slow played a little bit. You may get slow played a little bit once the portal opens up so they can see what older kids are ready to go. Okay. And some programs are more prevalent transfer portal kids than others. So once again, these are things that are coming up because you guys are in the thick of it right now. You guys are in the thick of the recruiting. And the transfer portal is a big one. Now let's get to the next one. Now, once again, these are questions or things that I think you guys are thinking about. Things that I think you guys are thinking about because you're seeing it take place. You're seeing it happen. Okay. So the next one that I think you're thinking about or you're seeing it take place, especially if you're on Twitter, is coaches on the road. And we talked about this a little bit earlier with Coach Nurse. Coaches on the road. They are definitely on the road right now. And before we showed you guys the calendar, we're getting to that green section of December. So they're on the road right now. You guys are probably seeing different tweets and things like this. Are these college coaches on the road? So what does that mean? What does that mean, Coach? They're on the road. Does that mean they're coming to see me? Does that mean that I should still reach out to them? Is this a good time or not? Glad you asked. All right. This is a great time, you guys, to reach out to these coaches. Now, there's some things I want you to keep in mind, though. There's some things I want you to keep in mind. For one, they're getting a lot of submissions, whether it is especially on social. DMs are crazy right now for these college coaches, especially if they're a high-level college coach. If I'm in North Carolina, if I'm at Bama, if I'm at, Kentucky, I'm getting a lot of submissions right now. Especially if I put out a post like that. If I put out a post, if I'm at a Pac-12 school and I put out a post like that I'm on the road, these coaches will have 150, 200 submissions like in 10 minutes. So it's going to be hard for them or for you to be sure that they're seeing your information. So what's the best way, Coach, to reach out to these coaches right now? In my opinion, you guys, if I was you, this is probably one of the best ways to reach out to them is through email. And I'm going to tell you why through email. For one, everybody's reaching out to them on social, especially you young football players that are on this call or checking out this recording. That's how you guys interact. That's your main mode of communication. So everybody's trying to DM them right now. Back when I was playing, all we had was email. But now you guys have multiple platforms. You guys have Instagram. You can hit them on Twitter. Twitter's number one usually, by the way. Phone calls, emails. So I can gain a little market share, maybe. I can gain a little bit more of these coaches' attention if I'm using a mode that maybe the other recruits aren't using as much. So if this coach is getting hit up hardcore on his DM from his Twitter, then maybe I get through on email. Maybe I get through on email. Now, here's another reason why email is great right now, you guys. I'm giving you guys some game. I'm giving you guys some game. Now, once again, Twitter's number one. Twitter is the number one mode of communication. But once again, we're working the calendar, right? We're working the calendar. So we want to know what's best for me to penetrate and maybe stand out during this time of the calendar when Coach Nurse, Coach Cormier, all these coaches are on the road. Email. And here's why, you guys. Here's why. I'm going to tell you. And I'm also give you the best time. The best time is before school. Now, when I say before school, what are they doing? They're on the road. We want to think strategically, right? Because this is business. We got to think strategically in business. We want to work smarter, not harder. They're on the road, you guys. What are they on the road to do? They're on the road to stop by schools and talk to coaches and stop by people's homes. So they're going, I know how they're recruiting when they're on the road, especially during this time of year. I know how their schedules break down. And what they're going to try to do is get to a high school as soon as that high school opens up in the morning. And then guess what? Then they're going to go to the next high school, then the next high school, and then maybe this kid's house, then maybe this kid's basketball game. So they've got their calendar for the day laid out, their schedule for the day laid out. But 9 times out of 10, you guys, they're going to start the morning going to see some high school coach. Well, when does high school coaches in high school start? Probably around 8 o'clock, 7:38. That coach is going to be trying to get to his first spot, his first landing spot for the day. Okay? So you want your email to come through before then. Also, why is email so good? Because that is going to be one of the main modes of communication with their coaching staff and what's going on with the football program when they're gone. They're not going to blow them up all on their phone. If something's going on with one of, let's say it's the receiver coach, and let's say it's the receiver coach at Kansas. I'm painting a picture for you. I'm the receiver coach at Kansas. My recruiting area is Houston, Texas. I'm in Houston, Texas tomorrow. So I fly out to Houston, Texas tomorrow. I'm there Wednesday. On Thursday, I'm at high school in the morning, believe me. Because the school's paying for this, I got to go recruit. Now, if something's happening, let's say one of my receivers in my receiver room has got bad grades, his grades came back, or he did something unfortunately bad off the field, you're going to get a phone call about that, or you're going to get an email. If something new is happening with recruiting tactics or a recruiting breakthrough, they're going to probably get that through email. If something's going on with that coach's flight, he's probably going to check that on email. Okay? So you get my point? Those coaches, that's why Coach Nurse got to us right back on email. That came through at about 3:58. He was checking his emails. Okay? So Email right now might be the way to break through with a coach, you guys, if you're not breaking through on social media, because he's getting bombarded on social media. Now, once again, when do we want to hit him on email? I want him to see my email early in the morning. So maybe I'm doing that right before I go to bed at night. So it's sitting there in his inbox. Or I want to do that, baby, after 6 or 7 p.m., after he's already gone to the high school. Maybe after he's on his way back from the basketball game he went to go check out, the high school basketball game. I want my email in his inbox at that time because he's going to come back to that hotel room and he's going to check that email before he goes to bed. Okay? So these are some of the tactics, you guys, that may be able to help you break through. And guess what? You only need to break through with one. You only need to break through with one. Now, as far as phone calls, phone calls are tough. I'm going to be honest. Phone calls are tough if you're a parent or a player because there's gatekeepers. They're not going to try to let too many parents or players through, especially if you are trying to call major Division I programs. But we use phone calls and they work great for us, and it is something that's different than what other people do. We don't do all the algorithms like NCSA and all that. We do relationships, phone calls, emails, DMs, texts, that type of stuff. And phone calls are great during this time, but guess what? They're on the road. They're on the road. So you either need their personal contact info, or if you're going to call the office phone, Fridays are the best day to call. Fridays are the best day to call during this time of year. And you want to call early in the morning, or you want to call at lunch. Now, keep in mind, some of you guys are in different area codes, geographic locations. So, keep in mind, if you're calling out of your geographic location, the time zone that you're calling. But Fridays are a great day to call during this time of year. Why is Friday a great day to call, Coach? I'm trying to give you guys some inside game. It's because they're traveling right now. But they all come back usually Thursday night or early Friday morning, and they all convene at the office on Fridays, the coaching staff, to recap, to talk about recruits, and to get ready for the next week of recruiting. Okay. Sometimes they may be hosting someone on a Friday. All right. So Fridays, if you're picking up the phone, boom, there you go right there. Now, the last one I want to get to, once again, these are questions that we've gotten about particular topics, or these are things I know you guys are thinking about. And the next one is coaching changes. Coaching changes. There has been already a huge uptick because it's the end of the season in coaching changes. And then also, a lot of this is in line with the portal and the signing day too. And I'm going to show you right here. So coaching changes, you guys, can be positives and negatives. Coaching change, there's always two sides of a coaching change. So I want to talk to you guys about that. Once again, these are things that are going on right now. What did we talk? Transfer portal. We talked on the road. And now we're talking coaching changes, okay? So we're obviously seeing a lot of coaches getting hired, a lot of coaches getting fired. Right here, you see the coach who was at Oregon State, Jonathan Smith. He's getting introduced at Michigan State, and he's getting $11 million a year almost, you guys. $11 million a year. So you guys know, if you're a parent in here and your kid's playing Division I football, it is big, big, big business, you guys. And then some of you guys may be saying, well, shoot, John Smith, he was having a great season at Oregon State. And Oregon State's his alma mater. He played quarterback there. Why would he leave a Power 5 program for another Power 5 program? Why would he leave his alma mater and all those kids he recruited and said he'd be there forever for? The reason why is because they're over doubling his salary. He was making $4 million, a little over $4 million a year at Oregon State. Now you're making almost $12 million a year. Your wife will divorce you if you don't go take that money. All right. So that's why he's leaving. Also, Oregon State's in limbo with their conference because the Pac-12 conference is closing. So I'm going to go to a major Power 5 conference and get paid some major money. So keep that in mind, you guys, because these coaches will tell you one thing, but at the end of the day, if they get a juicier apple, they're going to bite that baby. They're going to bite that baby. Okay, so keep that in mind. But how do the coaching changes affect you guys? So check this out, you guys. This is the current coaching changes in college football at the Division I level, at the FBS level. And I like to go to Football Scoop. You see the name in the top left corner. You guys can go to a lot of different websites to get this information, but I like to go to Football Scoop. Once again, we live this. And that's why I want to show you guys some things. So right here is the list, you guys, of all of the recent college football coaching changes. The teams on the left, far left, the head coach who was there this year in the middle, and then the new coach, if they have one, on the right. If they don't have one, it says TBA, to be announced. Now I want you to look at this slide. I want you to take a good look at this slide. So it's the same list, but the arrows represent the schools that have already found a coach. So the arrows represent the schools who have already found a coach. Now, there's one exception, and the exception is San Diego State, which you see kind of light red out right there. They actually picked their coach today, Sean Lewis, and he's the old offensive coordinator from Colorado. this year. So they actually picked their coach today. But if you look at all of the other schools with the arrows, you guys, all of those schools with the arrows, Michigan State, Mississippi State, Northwestern, Syracuse, and Texas A&M, what are all of those schools? Why are they first? Why are they first to get their coach? All of those schools are first, you guys, because all of those schools are Power 5 schools. All of those schools are Power 5 schools. And you know how I talked to you guys about the timeline? This is I'm showing you literally, because it's not always words, it's about action, right? And you can see how these schools move. They can say, oh, no, you're okay, high school kid. Don't worry about the transfer portal. But then you look at their recruiting class and half the class is transfer portal kids. So a lot of times the industry will say one thing, but then it moves a different way. So the reason why you see all of these schools to be the ones that have named their coach already, whether they really like that coach or not, is because these are all schools from the big boy conferences, And the big boys eat first. The big boys have to eat first, you guys. Why do the big boys have to eat first? Is because they're on tighter timelines. Right here, you guys, you see the early signing period. We say FBS Power 5 level, they want to be about 80%, and it's probably 80 to 90%. Some of them will be 100%. Alabama will be probably 99% done with their recruiting class in a month. When we hit December 20th through the 22nd for the early period, they're going to be done with 90%. Georgia, 99% of their recruiting class is going to be done. So the reason why you see these Power 5 schools that already have coaches, but you see Boise State doesn't. You see now Duke is on the late train. You see Houston doesn't. You see Middle, I'm sure they'll be next up, Middle Tennessee, is because they know the portal is about to open and they know the early signing period is coming. So they do not want to waste time on a coach, because after we get the head coach, then we got to fill in the staff, and that takes time. So that is why Michigan State did not wait to let Tucker go. That's why Northwestern did not wait to bump up the intern, David Braun. That's why Syracuse did not wait with Dino Babers. I thought Dino Babers has been in Syracuse the last 8-9 years. And they just made it to a bowl game. They just won their last game, got 6 wins, made it to a bowl game. They said, no, we got to let you go now. Forget the bowl game. We got to let you go now. And why do we have to let you go so fast? Because we're a Power 5 school, and the portal's coming up, and the early period's coming up. So right there, you guys, is why we have these calls, because some of you guys might be Syracuse level talent, but they're not ringing your phone. So you need to find some way to penetrate. And that's what we're talking about. Okay. So very, very important, the calendar, you guys, very important, the calendar. Also, and this isn't just at the FBS level, this is FCS level and D2 level. This is that time of year. So right here on the screen, the FCS schools that need a coach, you see those are all TBD. And then right on the right is the D2 schools that need a coach. But you also saw, just like I said, those Power 5 schools aren't playing. They're trying to fill those spots quick. And look at the FCS schools and the D2 schools that need a coach, you guys. And that's why I wanted to bring this up too, because it does play in the recruiting. This is very important. Those are great schools. UC Davis, I just recognize that. UC Davis's coach just left, Dan Hawkins. We got a great connection with Dan Hawkins. So part of this is for us too, you guys, is that we need to find out where all of our connections are moving, because we've got great connections at the top there at Columbia too. So we've got connections that are moving, and sometimes they get an upgrade. Sean Lewis was at Colorado, my alma mater. Now he's at San Diego State. So that's a good spot for us right now. So you guys have to be dialed into the coaching changes. Because we talk strategy a lot. And one of our key strategies is the low-hanging fruit. But when you look at the low-hanging fruit, and for those that don't know, the low-hanging fruit are the schools at the level that you want to play at, or at the level you've been evaluated to play at, but they're at the bottom. They're the bottom dwellers of the conference. Like you see here with Western Illinois, they went 0-11 this year. And that was at the time of this snapshot. They officially went 0-12, I believe. So, that's a bottom dweller. That's a low-hanging fruit suspect. Indiana State, the school ahead of them, went 2-9, you guys. So this is low-hanging fruit. But you have to pay attention, because the low-hanging fruit that you may be targeting may be a staff that just got let go. The Western Illinois, I just showed you Western Illinois, and we had a great connection there. Actually, a kid that came through our program was on the coaching staff there. And great connection for our kids. And that whole staff got let go last week, the whole staff. So there's also some strategy with that, because let's say I'm sitting at home and I'm a kid that doesn't have any offers, and I'm looking for something, and I've been evaluated as a Division I prospect by Before You Go Pro. I believe I'm a Division I prospect, but the phone's not ringing and I don't have that offer. Well, what I can do is, once that school does fill out their staff, I can be one of the first ones in front of them. But if I'm reaching out to that staff now, and that's why we're talking timing, I'm going to get crickets. Right now, I showed you guys this slide of the coach from Oregon State going to Michigan State right here. Well, the interim coach of Oregon State is a guy named Kafenzi Henson, Coach Henson. Coach Henson, I'll show you right now, is our main contact. At Oregon State. So I've known Coach Henson for years, back when he was coaching at Hawaii. He ended up being the receivers coach at Oregon State. And this is why you never burn bridges and why you always stay cool with people. And right now, as we speak, he's technically the head coach. He's running the show at Oregon State. So I know that this is what I know. It doesn't make sense for me or my team to bombard Coach Henson right now. And this is a text I sent him. This was on Sunday. You guys can't see that. Sunday, and then I don't know if you guys can see, but that's Coach Henson, if you can see at the top. Coach Kafenzi Henson. Coach Henson right there. All right. And then he put the little thumbs up on my notes. So you guys know, like I said, we're talking to coaches daily. We do this for real. Okay. And we got personal numbers on a lot of these coaches. So he's been my contact for years, you guys. It makes no sense for me to bombard Coach Henson right now with recruiting film. Why does that make no sense, Coach? Now, even though some openings may open up, because why? The coach that just left, Coach Smith, is going to take some of those kids that they were recruiting to Oregon State. He's going to bring some of those kids to Michigan State, because he's already spent maybe a year, maybe 6 months recruiting the kid. He likes the kid. He believes he's an FBS kid, and he already knows the family, and it makes it easy. So he's going to bring a couple of kids. A couple of kids are going to get an upgrade, so to speak, where they were originally being recruited by Oregon State. Now the Oregon State staff's going to Michigan State, and then now they're calling them from Michigan State saying, do you want to play in the Big Ten? Handful of kids are going to get that call. But why is the other reason? So it is probably a time where Oregon State's going to be looking for talent, but not just yet. They're going to lose recruits. They may have to recruit a whole new class, because nobody's going to want to sign up with a school that doesn't have a coach right now. Nobody's going to want to sign up with a school that doesn't have a coach or a conference right now. Very few people, unless that's your only Division I school. Okay, so they're going to have some kids that they need to sign. We know that as a company, as a program. We know, okay, Oregon State, all these other schools that you guys see here, Division I schools, All these guys that you see here, FCS D2, we know that they're going to need recruits, that they're probably losing recruits, and that they're going to be later in the recruiting game. That these schools are going to probably have to slow play recruiting. These schools are probably going to fill out their recruiting classes in February. Because there's no way for them to be effective recruiting right now without a head coach. Any competitor can say, why would you go to that school? They don't even have a head coach. The logistics of trying to get kids on recruiting trips, you can't really do it when you don't have a staff, So there's no sense in me bombarding Coach Henson right now with recruiting film. He's just trying to hold up the ship. He was probably surprised himself that he got named the interim coach. Also, he doesn't even know where his job is going to be. He may be going off to Michigan State. So how can I recruit a kid to come to Oregon State when I don't even know if my job is safe? So the reason why I'm bringing this up, you guys, is because coaching changes are big right now. They're only going to be talked about more soon because there are more coming. And they're happening at every conference, you guys. And there is some strategy behind getting your first offer or getting a bigger offer or something by going after schools that you can play at that level, but they're struggling a little bit recruiting wise because they don't have a coaching staff or they don't have a full coaching staff. So there is some strategy. You see right here, Houston, Duke, Indiana. There is some strategy where there's going to be some players that maybe wouldn't have been recruited by Indiana or Duke, but they got in there because Duke is now late with recruiting. Okay. So also exercise patience, you guys. You don't need a million schools to offer you. You only need this. You only need one. And when you're strategic, you don't have to stress. If we're working with you, don't stress. That's why you brought us on. That's why we're here to talk to, because we have a strategy for each individual athlete, especially if they're on our one-on-one guaranteed plan. Okay. So these are things that I knew were on you guys' mind. All right. The transfer portal, all these things affect recruiting and how you go about it. On the road, these coaches are on the road. Once again, great time to let them know that you're available. And then obviously coaching changes. Coaching changes are big too. You do not want to contact schools that are going through coaching changes as soon as the change happens. You got to let them fill out their staff a little bit and let some of the things pan out. Okay, you got to let some things pan out. So let's check out some of the comments and questions. What's up, Coach? I see Sadai, superstar cornerback. He's going to a nice school. He's in line to go to a nice school. Rachel, I see you. That is the Hornbarger family, always coming into the Locker Room Live show and holding it down for us. How much is COVID year affecting the 2024s? So great question, Skip. That is still in effect too. That is still in effect too. And how that's in effect is some of these schools have 6-year seniors, 7th-year seniors. They call them super seniors. That means that we don't have as many spots on the D line. That means we don't have as many spots in the secondary because we still got these old seniors. That should fully play out probably by the 2026 class. I would say the next year is probably one last class of maybe having to deal with full position rooms, very full position rooms. But I would say the 2026 class is probably going to be when that washes out. But that's a great question. And yeah, just another factor in why high school kids are being slow played a little bit, especially at the Division I level. Coach Keller here. Good to see you, Anthony, especially. And then I've got Cool V. That is Vincent Smith. Actually went to high school with Vincent and worked with his son. Just joined our program, Jasir, and amazing quarterback out of California. 6'4", 215 pounds. go-getter. So I'm glad to see all of our athletes and a lot of our parents in here tonight, because this is all for you guys. This is all for you guys. Once again, this is my ministry. This is a labor of love. As soon as I get off this, I'll be talking with athletes and parents. So this is what I do. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns before we get off tonight's show? Once again, definitely a time, especially if you're a higher level prospect, to be proactive, to get some urgency behind your hustle. But it is not a time to panic. It is not a time to stress. It's not a time to think it won't happen for you. Some of you guys may need to strategize where you're going to a prep school or something like that. You saw, I showed the example of Jacob De Jesus, but do you think he's really thinking about that this weekend when he plays in the Mountain West Championship game? He's not thinking about having to go to a junior college. He's thinking about catching a punt and making a big play on TV. Okay, so we'll get you to your destination, but we do want to be patient. We do want to be mindful, and we do want to get after it, especially if you're in the class of 2024. I see the great Coach Foss coming in. A lot of you young athletes know Coach Foss. If you don't, and you're new with us, or you haven't joined and you eventually join before you go pro, Coach Foss is definitely somebody that you will know. He has 2 quarterbacks that are his sons playing college football, so he's been through this and knows the process. But he's saying, don't forget to subscribe and like so you'll get notified when we are on Tuesday and Thursday each week. Thank you, Coach Falls, for that. And he's right. If you guys want some more information, every Thursday we have the Locker Room Show. We bring in a great football industry guest to share their journey and share their tips and advice. And then the Recruiting Live Show is just for you guys so you can get to the bag, so you guys can get to the money. And then that's going to end in February after the regular signing period. Coach was going to take a break. All right. So hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of tonight's show. We'll be back next week, and we're going to go through this baby together until you're all signed up and delivered. We're going to even be bringing on some coaches, some players who are being recruited, just so you guys can get some more advice and insight. And then also letting you guys hear some live calls, some live recruiting calls, so you guys can hear how that goes down too. There's not a show like this. If there is, let me know, please. If you guys have any family, friends that is in the same boat as you, that wants to get recruited, wants to learn more about how this industry works, please do not hesitate, you guys, to refer people to before you go pro. It is definitely greatly appreciated by our team. If you go to our website and you scroll to the bottom of the page, hit the sign up link, you guys can check out even more information. We have a live recruiting database. I think it's the best unsigned, uncommitted talent database in the country right now. And it's only getting better with people like Anthony and Bubba and David and Sadite and all you guys that are joining tonight. But if you guys do need recruiting support, or you know somebody who does, please refer them to us, because we would love to help them out. We have a recruiting database. We only let 10 athletes in per position. Some of those athletes are almost capped as we speak. And that is the database that goes to all of our recruiting contacts. And a lot of kids get offers and interest. We also have a one-on-one program as well, which is a little bit more detailed. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of tonight. Once again, please like and subscribe and share. And unless anybody has any comments or questions or concerns about their recruiting process, we are going to call it a night tonight. All right, you guys, going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Love you guys. Hopefully you got value out of tonight's show. Let's get to the money, because it's out there. And those recruiters are out there right now. And if you aren't with us, then get with us. You know how to find us. All right, you guys. I'll see you at the top. Have a good one.